Hey guys, Kelly here, and finally, I've got myself to draw. So many might not know, 90s baby here. Okay, yeah, I just said that. Anyway, so I've been thinking what to draw, and while looking at my husband watching his anime, I thought why not draw an anime from one of the many anime or animes, whatever, that I've watched as a kid. So I've actually put up a list. Here it is. Even though I already have a character in my mind and you know who she is already, it's FUU from Magic Knight Rayearth. I hope you guys know her, especially my fellow Filipinos. I hope you are also watching this as a kid, or is it only me? I'd be honest, FUU is not my favorite back then. It's actually Umi. But since I like drawing curly hairs, I don't know, I'm just more comfortable drawing curly hairs. And FUU has a short hair, but curly at the end, or more like wavy, yeah. So yeah, that will do. Alright, let's start. So now I've started to sketch my drawing, and as you can see, I'm sketching with a dark pink color because I like the effect that it gives to my artworks. But it's not really all the time that I would keep the pink lines. It depends on the vibe that I would like to go for. Like for this one, I actually wanted it to be with a lot of green. And I've just decided that when I was close to the end of the artwork. You'll see in a bit. Also, I chose this shade of pink specifically for branding my channel. I would use this color for the text on my thumbnails and some other elements on my videos. I'm not really confident with my anatomy yet, but I try to spend some time learning, and so far I think I'm getting a hang of it when I'm randomly sketching at home. But yeah, so much to improve. Now I am doing the color blocking, where I just put the flat colors in separate layers so that it's just easier for me to color different areas like the hair, the armor, and her skin. Then on top of every color layer, I would add another layer and set it as a clipping mask for the shadows and highlights. The advantage of this is whenever I want to change any part of the drawing, I do not need to touch any of the other parts except that area that I would like to change. It's also good to have your drawing in layers so that if ever you make a mistake, you don't have to remove the entire color layer. Then I add the black lines. For this drawing, I felt that I need to add it just to make it pop. I wanted to have like a comic style vibe somehow. I'm trying to not be too careful with my lines because that's the style I want to go for. And I'm a fan of having thin and thick lines. I think it looks so much better with it. It just really depends on what style you want to achieve. Of course, we have different preferences. But yeah, I usually go for the heavy line art type of drawing. Okay, so now after adding the black lines, I add darker shadows to have more contrast on the colors. So whenever there is a shadow, I would add a darker shade on top of it, but not to the whole shadow, to make it more visible, just like in here. Next, I would also do the highlights and the rim lights. Rim lights are the thin lines or rim of light which are added to certain parts of the outlines to represent the reflection of the light. Okay, too much light in there.
Let there be light.
Hello, my son. Welcome to heaven.
So this part is my favorite in the drawing process. It really gives a different look to the artwork. And I would always experiment on putting it to a lot of areas. Like a lot of areas. I know it breaks the rule because not all parts should have a light reflected to it. But yeah, I do it anyways. And lastly, the background. I do not usually think much of the background. But I just love to splash in different shades of the color that I choose. In this case, green as well. And I changed the brush to wet sponge, increase the size, and just play around. Then, we'll add some splatters, and we're done. I hope you enjoyed my drawing process. This is the first video that I have with voiceover, so I hope you didn't get annoyed with my voice. Let me know what other anime were you watching as a kid too, and let's see if I can draw them next. Or if you have any other suggestions for me to do on my next videos, just comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.